to whoever is watching. First of all, thank you very much. And second of all, we will be starting in 2 minutes, right at 5 o'clock. So stay tuned until then. Also, if you could leave a comment in the chat to let me know that you could hear me, that would be amazing. I'll be starting in just one moment. Stay tuned. And we're live. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Charlie from Altcoin Mentors, and today I'm going to be going over the price action of the last week in the crypto markets, and then go into what exactly my strategy is. You can guess from the title what the gist of it's going to be, and then at the end I'm going to answer all of your questions. And as always, I'm going to stay for between an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how many questions there are. So let me switch over to the screen. Perfect. So, oops. If you are not yet on our email list, we send out the strategy notes every Sunday morning. So the content that this is all based off of will be in your inbox at 10 a.m. depending on your time zone. Sunday morning, so you can see pretty detailed, lots of charts, details the exact strategy I'm using. Yeah, and so if you want that, you can hop right on over to this page. It is altcoinmentors.com/portfolio, and you'll be able to get that right away. This week's will be sent to you immediately, and you'll be queued up to get next week's as well. And then the second thing I have to show is our model portfolio. We have made many improvements over the last one. Spetsnaz, yes, you can ask me something, but it's going to have to wait until the Q&A section. Back to the model portfolio, you can see that this is my watch list, nice and color-coded. And it gives you this is the main column you want to look out for. This is the reward to risk ratio. You can see that Storm is topping out the list at 1800%, followed by Golem, Icon, Request Network, Poet, Enigma. In short, these are the coins that I am the most bullish on in the near-term future. And we'll get more into that in the strategy section. But there are lots of other sheets in this portfolio. You can see the main page, the portfolio summary. We just started this 6 days ago. So as you can see, it's just $1,000 out of a reference $50,000 account. We have the all the cryptos that we own right now, so you can see those that are in the very top. We have seed positions in right now, as well as a few of the smaller coins. You can see exactly every transaction that we made, as well as this is an extension of the transactions page. You can see our portfolio history, as well as the Bitcoin and CoinMarketCap drawdown. You can see Peter's challenge going from $2,000 to $10,000 only doing trading. And then, of course, the watch list was the most important. Speznaz, what is the target for POE? Poet. Target is 35 cents. Optimal entry is going to be around 3.3 cents, and your stop loss at 2.8 cents. And that is, again, all in the model portfolio. You can get that right here. Just click Get Access Now, enter your information, and it'll be sent to you right away. And then, of course, as always, Telegram channel, t.me/altcoinmentors. We're in there all the time during the week. You can get that at, again, t.me/altcoinmentors. Take a sip of tea. Oh, there's one other thing I had to do. Just move that down. Yep, so this is the weekly chart. Unchanged, per usual. You can see that I still think that we're going to 48K to 82K unless 3K is broken. Nothing has changed here. And I also want to say that for some reason, a lot of people on Twitter think that I'm a permabear. Clearly, if I think that Bitcoin is going to $50,000 at least, I am not bearish on crypto. And because I'm in the space actively investing in it, that also is a good sign that I'm not a bear. So yeah, weird that people think that. Anyway, let's move on to the daily chart, which has actually had some developments recently with the price action. If you'll remember, last week we were right around here. We just had that big short squeeze and had gone sideways a little bit. And we have made significant progress towards then. I was calling for a correction starting at around $9,000. Clearly, we went up higher than that. We went all the way to $9,700. What this tells me is that the immediate downside case is very unlikely. Before I had this blue 4 right around here. So the path that it was going to take was to go straight down here, up slightly, and then we just go immediately back down. But since this is a very clear 5-wave pattern, and assuming we can hold the lows, which I believe we can, then we have to go back up to at least this previous resistance at 12,000 before dropping down. And by the way, I also don't think that this particular case is very likely either. You can see we have two kind of bearish cases here, the green and the blue, where one is, they're essentially the same, but they're just slightly different ways of counting it. And because there's two ways of doing it, you have to factor that in. Like I said, I don't really view these as likelihoods anymore. For a long time, I thought that this green pattern, if you've looked at any of my charts, I almost always have the green as my most probable. So I'm probably going to have to change that to this red. So I view this red triangle as the most probable at this point. It's going to be hard to tell whether or not we are in the triangle or in the leading diagonal until the very end when it completes. But either way, both of these are extremely bullish. Red triangle, the most bullish. Because right after we get through this triangle, well, first of all, altcoins tend to move a lot when Bitcoin is going sideways, and a triangle is the definition of moving sideways. So it's very good for altcoins. It might actually be the first bull run we see where altcoins are leading. We've kind of seen that already. And it took me by surprise personally. I was out of quite a few altcoins. Only had small core positions left open. And when they started just taking off, I was a little bit disappointed. I was able to avoid FOMOing into a lot of them. But anyway, going back to this triangle, once this triangle completes, it's just going to take off completely. If the triangle completes, I should say. Nothing's ever 100% probable. Yeah, things are looking very, very good. What I want to see from here on, actually, I'll go into that in the next chart. That's too zoomed in. You can see on this chart, I have the triangle in green. You can see the clear 5-wave move up for 1. And I'm going to do this in every video since there's always new people watching. Impulsive waves are always 5 up. So if it's going towards the trend, it is 5 moves up. The third wave is always the longest. And then you're going to have 3 waves down when you're going against the trend. So we had 5 waves up, and so we would expect to see 3 down. You can see that we have 1, 2, and we're missing a third. So you can see that I have this green box right here between 8,300. Yeah, 8,300 and 7,500, but more likely it's going to be between this very tight, this tight range of 8,300 to 8,000. The full range is 8,600 to 7,500, but I would be very surprised if it wasn't in between 8,000 and 8,300. You can see that since we have the wave 1 up here, the 3 down is going to be 2, then we have the large 3 up. This is what we want to catch. You have a 4th wave down. This is when a lot of altcoins are really going to take off and catch up to Bitcoin's bull move. And then we have the final 5 up, which creates some divergence. And then we drop, if we are indeed in the triangle, we drop down to C. Everyone panics, go back up to D, same thing. Everyone panics again. And then finally we get a huge move in Bitcoin. If the triangle plays out. I hope it does. Now, I'll move on to a time frame below that, and you'll be able to see my micro picture a little bit clearer. Oh, where is that? Need to see visibility hours. Let's crank that up. Oh, not that far. 11. There we go. So you can see that I'm zoomed into the 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is, of course, all of part of 1. And then A, remember it's 3 waves. Let me just show you that. 3. I don't like to have the actual lines cluttering up my chart. Personally, I think that you can tell that someone is a noob at Elliott Wave if they have these lines on their chart, because I've never seen someone who actually knows how to use Elliott Waves have these lines on their chart. But I digress. Of course, like I said earlier, the ABC is your standard expectation for a correction. So you have your 1, this is a very clear 5 waves down. You have your 3 against. And then we would expect to see 5 more down from here. And again, that ranges between 8,700 and 7,500 with the compressed range at 8,300 to 8,000. This red case, this red leading diagonal for 1 is an alternate count that I have. At this point, I would view it as possible, but not probable. Where we would have this, you have the same one, and this is just an extended third, and then you also have an extended fifth. So it's definitely unorthodox, and leading diagonals are to start unorthodox. So that's why I think it is not probable, but possible. You should really be expecting this green count. Now let's go into the 30-minute chart. Is there anything I wanted to expand on? You can see the 5 waves down into that green area. We're in 2 now. We shouldn't expect a 5-wave move for 3 down into here. Alternatively, in the red leading diagonal case, this is just A, B, and then we get a C for 4. And then we see a move up for 5, then more down, and then we go up. Either way, there is going to be a very, very good buying opportunity in the near future, whether it is down all the way to here, or it is just down for the 2 of this, and the later 2 if this is a 5-wave move, if the red 5, larger 5 plays out. Let me zoom out a bit and actually try and give you a little bit more context behind why this is so significant. I'm going to draw this 5-wave pattern. And the basic principle of Elliott wave is that you are able to find patterns in price action that exactly fit certain Fibonacci ratios. In this case, oh, why did I delete that? I don't know why I deleted that. That's it's okay. So you measure this 1 wave up. So in this case, 1. And then you have your 2 down. So you use the Fibonacci extension tool. You can't actually use the Fibonacci extension tool in TradingView because it's broken. It's in linear, not log. But anyway, you see that I have these custom coded Fibonacci ratios here. You can see that this 3 is 1.618 of the 1. And then goes down in the same amount as the 2, and then goes up in the same amount as the 1 again. This being 1.618 of 1 is the largest price move in the entire wave, plus you can catch that 5th as well. Let me zoom out and then turn this on. This is the expectation for Bitcoin right now. And the move that we want to catch is this 3rd. You want to take off some at the 3rd, take profit here, probably move it into alts, move it back into Bitcoin, or if you didn't buy any alts, move that cash back into Bitcoin, and then catch that 5th wave, get out, and rinse and repeat. That's the very basics of trading with Elliott wave. And the perhaps most important thing to know is that these are not exact targets. It's going to be more of a range where perhaps your target for 3 is going to be something like this. And you want to be incrementally taking profits just in case it does have a more shallow 3, or it dips into 4 early, or it has a more extended 3, you didn't take off everything. You want to really think about this in terms of probabilities. And that's, I think, where most people get stuck trading with Elliott wave, because they think that if someone puts out a price target of 14,961, if it doesn't hit that, complete prediction is wrong. Everyone should really be talking in terms of ranges, and that's something I'm trying to get better at doing. in general, just incorporating ranges on every single chart that I do, just to make people understand better that these are not precise values. They are in fact ranges, and from those ranges you can trade off of them by entering into higher probability and higher risk reward trades. Anyway, it is significant because this is the first 5-wave move that we've had off of the lows since $20,000. This is why it's so big. This is our first opportunity for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market as a whole to prove itself bullish by holding this low right here. Because if we don't hold this low, downside to 4,000 is likely. But if we do, and I think it's probable that we do, then we are well on our way to all-time highs, really. So I will take off the waves because I don't like them on my chart. And I will scan the strategy notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. And once again, I will emphasize that I am expecting further downside into this box and that you should buy the dip. We want to catch that third wave, and yeah, nothing else. Buy the dip. Stop loss would be you would really start sweating around 7,100, and then hard stop loss before 6,400. Don't put everything in. Don't go all in. Standard risk management. Let me save this. And if you have any questions about Bitcoin, please ask them now. Okay, JC, if we go straight to 10K from here, what's your expectation on a pullback? If we go straight to 10K from here, first of all, we're gonna go past 10K if we are going to 10K. We're gonna go and test this area here. You can see that this area is right where I would target this fifth wave if we were, and we would be in this red count if we did go to straight to 10Ks and higher. Most likely we would form a triple top and then go down, and everyone would. It's going to be pretty funny if we do that, actually. People are going to be panicking a lot. And once again, I don't view this as likely. But if we were to go to 10Ks, we would probably hit around the 11, 11.5, 12 range. And then afterwards, let me use my fib tool to find a retrace. 644.5. What is this? 11,500. You would expect us to retrace into this zone right here. So between $8,000 and $9,000. You would start having your buys at around 9,200 and have much larger buys at 8,000. If there are any other questions on Bitcoin specifically, please ask them now. You'll be able to ask them later too, but I just prefer to neatly segment things so that people can just skip to one section in particular that they want to view. No more questions on Bitcoin? Cool. Let's get to altcoins. After all, we are altcoin mentors. I think if it clears 12K range, it will fly to 40K, not coming to 8K again. That is possible. Yes. Definitely possible. In the last strategy notes, I had divided up altcoins into 3 groups. So it was those that had made major lows on March 18th and not April. And then those that had made major lows in April. Oh, sorry, Neosif. You see this next wave for this week. What? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. In the next week, I think that we fill out this 5-wave move down into the green box, and then get started on a larger bull run up to this 3 around $15,000. If that didn't answer your question, please let me know. Sorry about that. Back to altcoins. In the group of the altcoins that had made major lows on April 1st, some of them had completed structures. You can see NEM had a completed structure, and others, like Power Ledger, did not have completed structures yet. I know specifically for Power Ledger, it went up to complete its 5-wave move. Let me pull up that chart. XLM was another one that only recently completed its structure, and then there are a few that are going to look to fail. You can see that Power completed its move up, and so did XLM. Actually, XLM was in the first group, but oh, interesting. That actually might vary between exchanges. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, a lot of these alts have, in the next dip, we should go all in with a stop loss. Maybe not all in, but this is the best buying opportunity that we have seen in a very long time. That's what I will say. I shouldn't have closed that Bitcoin chart. A lot of people, I note in response to that, are going to say, well, Charlie, the best buying opportunity would have been in this area right here, $5,000 or $5,900 Bitcoin or $6,600 Bitcoin. Yes, that was a low price, but it was a very low probability that we were going to go higher from that. So yes, you could have tried to pick that bottom. I know that I picked the bottom here on March 18 with a few different coins. Well, Bitcoin too. Bitcoin, ICX, EOS, ENG, and those worked out. Well, Bitcoin didn't work out, but the other ones did. But that was not high probability at all. I was fully prepared for those to go down to like $3 EOS and 80-cent ENG. So maybe not all in, but certainly this is an amazing buying opportunity. I keep closing stuff. I'm just going to the watch list right now to see what the high skew alts are. In the strategy notes, I had listed the top 6. So once again, the top 6 are Storm, Golem, Icon, Request Network, Poet, and Enigma. So let's go over those charts. And I'm also going to go into the other 2 trades we're in right now, which is Monaco and Z Classic. So I'll move that over there. Sorry, I should have prepared these earlier. But the whole problem is that TradingView just takes up a ton of RAM. I'm not sure why. Storm. Storm. Oops. Damn it. Storm. GNT. Icon request network. CX. Poet. Request network. Enigma. All right, let's go over Z Classic first. So that Brett guy, or Rhett, I don't remember. The guy who was behind the Z Classic fork into Bitcoin Private has decided that he wanted to do another fork on Z Classic, this time calling it Bitcoin Anonymous. And this is a complete scam. I don't really know how to say it any other way. But it's a complete scam, and I fully plan on profiting off of it. You can see in this chart that, let's switch off log just so you can see the ridiculousness of these price moves of Z Classic. Z Classic was a dead coin, and then the Bitcoin private fork was announced, which for some reason gained a ton of traction. Up, 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 all the way up to $250. It was at $2 before that. Dumped, second spike up, and then dead coin again. It was at $4. And now it has spiked back up to $28. Let's go back into log since it's actually reasonable to chart like this. This is in the category of needing one more high. And then this is going to be 1. We dump down to 2, and then we have another 3. Or this is just a 5-wave move up, and it's dead coin after this, which I actually think is more likely. Anyway, I got my first fills in at this fib here, 16.5, and then kind of FOMO'd in yesterday at 28. The first target is going to be 72. And it's very possible that we see further upside targets to possibly 100 and 182. So yeah, this I didn't put in the email or in the article because it's technically not one of the top 6 coins, but it's just an interesting play because it's a complete scam. But very profitable. Good upside here. Never underestimate people's, not going to say stupidity, but urge to FOMO into something. So I definitely see potential to that this goes up to 180. Next is Monaco. Monaco has a similar setup, not quite as high skew, but the target here is $12 now, sitting almost at support at $10 and go up to $30, $30 to $40. It doesn't quite have the catalyst that Z Classic does, so this is probably a low probability count, but so don't throw all your money into this one, and you won't want to after seeing something like Storm. Fundamentally, Storm is the decentralized mechanical Turk. Decentralized gamified AI mechanical Turk. They used a lot of buzzwords in that one. But the chart looks really good. In case you can't tell, I don't like the project fundamentally. But the chart looks very good. It had a potential wave 1 all the way from, get out of the way, all the way from 1.5 cents and pulled a 6x to $8, then retraced all the way back to $2.50. And large price moves like this are indicative of large price moves in the future. The only problem with this is that it's possible that this was simply just an ABC and not 5 waves, but you can clearly count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just you typically see the 3rd wave extended and not the 5th, and not to this degree. But it's okay. It can really be either at this point. And it doesn't change the local count at all. But it just limits the upside later. It perhaps would only go to $13 instead, or 13 cents instead of around 70 cents, which is my eventual target. So I like Storm a lot. We have 4% of our model portfolio in Storm and plan to add more later if it gets into this green box right here. The next one is going to be Golem. Golem is the... Okay, I don't remember what Golem is. Something to do with computing power. It's something like probably similar to RLC, Daddy, those kinds of things. I didn't really look into it that much. It has the potential to be something, but it's definitely not as solid fundamentally as some of the others that I like. Same kind of setup, except it didn't have the 1-2 before. It just got launched into a bear market and immediately dumped all the way down. And then they released their mainnet and then followed through with one more spike up. And we can expect it to go down into this green box before continuing up. The issue that I see here is that this kind of looks like just 3 up. So that's not amazing. Typically when you see 3 down, 3 up, it means you're going to see 5 down, and then this is a dead coin. So we'll see what happens. It's quite often that you see the highest risk reward coins also being the lowest probability. But that's why you use stop losses. So in this case, your stop loss would be below 25 cents. And ideally, you'd be really loading up your position if it gets down to 30 cents. So again, Storm and Golem both are by far the highest reward to risk coins right now, but also the lowest probability. All right, let's get into coins that I actually like. First one being Icon. I am so bullish on the long-term prospect of Icon that I can't even express to you. Not only because of the chart, but okay, maybe mostly because of the chart. But it's played out absolutely beautifully so far. In the long term, you can see that it has some ridiculous moon count. Yeah, 28,000. Let's get above all-time highs before we worry about that. But I will say that the price action recently lines up nearly perfectly with the moon count. So while it's not the perfect confirmation that it will happen, usually I won't say usually it happens, but you need that confluence if it is going to play out, and we have it. So that is something. The eventual target for this is right around 25. Currently sitting around a little under $5. Wanted to go into this green box. Again, if you go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy, that email will be sent to you. It has the targets, buy range, and stop loss for the top 6, and our model portfolio has the other 30 coins. 32? 32 minus 6, I think. Very, very bullish on Icon. Wow. One of my favorite coins. Poet is not one of my favorite coins, but it's certainly not terrible either. I think it's an interesting use case. And what I like about it is that it is easy to understand. And that's going to sound stupid. But it was also stupid that in the last alt season, people were buying coins that had low unit costs because newbies were coming in and looking for that. So you can never underestimate how badly people understand the market. You have to think about irrationality in a rational way. And what a coin needs to pump in an alt market is to be cheap and to have an easily understandable story. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again, just because I've never heard anyone else say it, but it has always been true. Look at Ripple. Ripple pumped so hard. Narrative was banks, and it was cheap. Poet. It's cheap. Narrative is it's for artists to store their work. Verge. Privacy. Cheap. Nano / Roblox. Cheap. No fees. Environmentally friendly. What else pumped? I can't remember any face melting pumps. But yeah, I like Poet. Very high skew. Target, $26. Eventual target, higher than that. $10-ish? I don't remember. Don't count on that one. It doesn't have that much price history behind it. T-Rex pump face melting? Yeah, T-Rex, good example. Cheap, new internet. Request Network, also one of... Fundamentally, I think that Request Network succeeding is very low probability, but the thing is that if they do succeed, it's going to be absolutely massive. So I got a fill on Request Network right at this 618, so that was a little under 20 cents, with the eventual target being right over $1. So very, very nice risk to reward there. The issue here is the funky price action of this one. Very possible that this is just a truncated bottom right here and that not a one. And that we see just the upside to 77 cents, which is still a 3x from here. Very good. Very, very good outside of crypto. Again, the highest risk to rewards aren't necessarily the highest probability of happening. And finally, topping off the list is Enigma, which all of you guys know is my absolute favorite coin at the moment, besides Bitcoin. Okay, it's tied. But eventual target at $14, currently sitting at $3, and looking to go back into this green box between $2 and $1.66, stop loss at $1.50. Only problem here is that this 5 up originally is questionable, very questionable. Possible that this is a large leading diagonal. Either way, very bullish long term and very bullish short term too. If you weren't here earlier, I'll say it again. This is the best buying opportunity that we have seen in the market. If you missed on, first of all, if you missed on March 18, that was a really good buying opportunity. If you missed in early April, also very good buying opportunity. But this is definitely the highest probability buying opportunity with very good upside still. And then the only thing that I did not mention about alts yet is this chart here. This is Turtle BC. So if you don't know the story behind the Turtle traders, that was Richard Dennis and some other guy. I can't remember. If you read the book Market Wizards and New Market Wizards, phenomenal books. Highly recommend them. The turtles feature prominently in those, and the turtles were trend followers in the 1900s who were phenomenally successful traders. And this site, TurtleBC, is the crypto version, or it's basically a bot that has the Turtle strategy and sends buy signals for alts. And they have this quote-unquote buy percentage chart on their site that I really like to use as a counter indicator. It's actually really funny. Someone on some fake news site had a week ago, when alts were really pumping, when this buy percentage was at 92%, they were like, buy, Bitcoin to 20,000, 92% buy percentage. Wherein clearly they didn't know that this is a counter indicator. You'll note that the last time it was this high was the beginning of January and end of December. So I'm not sure what the author thought happened after that date, if he thought we went on to make new highs or something, but you can see that it dropped precipitously after that. Also interesting to note that last December was kind of an anomaly in that we didn't see multiple of these spikes together. Like you have 2 spikes here, 3 here, kind of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I guess that kind of counts. But these almost always come in at least pairs, usually 3s. So I expect this to go probably down to like 50%-ish. And we're at 66%, so it's just equalizing a little bit. And then have another big quote-unquote alt season. And so this next spike I expect to occur in that wave 3, like I was talking about earlier. So yeah, turtlebc.com/tools/buy percentage. Cool counter trend chart. You can see that it bottoms out anytime it's below, say, like 10%. Is generally a pretty good time to accumulate altcoins, but you can see it kind of failed you because it first was below 10% at when Bitcoin was at $6,000, and clearly alts went a lot lower after that. Anyway, I like it a lot to find quote-unquote alt seasons. And now, I already talked about a bit. Actually, let's take any questions you had on any of the altcoins that I just went over, or that chart. This is running a little bit long. Sorry about that. Ontology, do you think $2 one day? I have an ontology chart. Let's take a look. What do you think about OCN? I have not looked into Odyssey recently. Okay, GTO. I'll pull up that chart too. I've not looked into OCN or the chart. Let me pull that up just to see what it looks like. GTO's definitely. GTO's. The problem with GTO is that it only has major price moves up when there's some kind of gimmick. So it had a big price move up on the on PBC really when what's it called? Palm Beach Confidential Pump It Up Group released their report, and it pumped like 5 times. And then this recent pump is riding the coattails of the market, and then you saw the listing on, I don't remember where, and then the contest. So it just doesn't, I know a lot of my followers really like GTO, but I personally will not be playing it. But the retrace target is 52 cents to 40 cents. Stop loss 35 cents. Let's get to, first of all, OCN. Oh, OCN's not on here, is it? Upbit, thank you. Let's go to Ontology. Ontology is chugging along. I really wish I was in Ontology. Funny thing, I put in some almost at the very low, and then got out immediately. So that's a sad story right there. Now, almost the same thing happened with EOS. If you were in my Telegram group during that March 18 low, you'll know that I bought a lot of EOS then and quickly sold it because I thought the market was going to dump. So that was one of the major lessons I learned recently. Don't stop out early, or you might miss some face-melting pumps like EOS recently. I do expect EOS to retrace into this box between $15 and $18. And then proceed on up to 45. Yeah. I personally will probably not be playing this because there are better opportunities there. Better opportunities out there. It's always risky to play for a multi-X return when your coin is already at $15 billion. Just how it is. Were there any other questions? If you have any other alt questions, put them here. Oh, actually, we're in the general question strategy now. Or the general questions section now. Because I guess I kind of pretty much went over the strategy with Bitcoin. But I guess just to wrap up the strategy section, best buying opportunity since at least highest probability entry that you're going to see in a long time. Get ready to see Bitcoin just go on a rip your face off rally. Okay, maybe not rip your face off rally yet. Some alts might. Will you try to benefit from Tron mainnet release? When is that? They're doing a mainnet now? Really? I thought that Tron had like a 20-year time horizon or something. People were making fun of them for that. Tron. Oh, I don't have a Tron chart. Let's go about a general chart. Oh, nice. Bitcoin's dumping nicely. Cool. All right. TRX USD. Oh, well, that didn't pan out, huh? Oh, this green count kind of panned out. May 31st. I will not be playing this because the chart does not look clear to me at all. Yeah. But generally, buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy the build up and sell the news. Look what happened to Verge. Look at EOS, by all accounts, looks to dump on its mainnet as well. You can see it's going up now. It's going to make some squiggles down on its way up to $45, and then it'll just take a huge dump, probably all the way down to like the $10 to $20 range. So things just dump after releases in crypto. Wand X. Particle coin. Do you think we will see BTC dip this week? Yes, I think Bitcoin will dip, if not tonight, within the next 2 days, into that 8,000 to 8,300 range. Woo! $2 million market cap. That is something. Wow, what happened here? 128 to 5 cents? Jesus. Decentralized ERC20 token. baskets. What? I just don't see how this could possibly be useful or capture any value. Nope. I will only buy a super tiny cap if, going back to what I said earlier, if it has a good narrative and can be easily understood by someone who's just getting into crypto. No, do not sell your alts. Remember, this is just the start. Okay. Things are looking up for now. Don't be the person who sells before something goes on a moon mission. Once Bitcoin is at if Bitcoin is tracing at the triangle, if it goes up to 17K, then you can think about selling. And even then, not everything. Like I was saying before, you want to think of these things as probabilities. So don't sell everything at once, and don't buy everything at once. You really want to be scaling in. Back to Wandex. If I was just getting into crypto, would I understand what this means? No, I would not. If I was getting into crypto, I could understand the banks are going to use Ripple, not decentralized trading of ERC20 tokens. Sorry. Particle. I swear I've heard of this before, but I can't remember where. Damn, look at that Head and Shoulders. Jeez. Privacy-focused marketplace and application platform. This I don't like. Swiss Army knife of cryptocurrencies. Because, what's the saying? I don't remember what the saying is. It's something that has master of none in it. Okay, I really need to know what this means. Oh, Master of None is Aziz Ansari's TV show. Never mind. There's some saying about how, like, if it's a Swiss Army knife, it doesn't do anything, any one thing good, but does everything kind of bad. So that's not a good strategy if you're using if you have a cryptocurrency like that, because things that are specialized are just going to take over. For example, Bitcoin is a really good store of value, and there's no other currency that's going to be able to challenge it for that. If you have a Swiss Army knife that does a bunch of different things, it's not going to catch on in any of them. Yeah, again, like, I just don't see, if I was a new person, could I understand what this is? I'm not a new person. I don't even understand what this is, really. They're just trying to do so many things. Like staking, marketplace, dApps, confidential transactions, atomic swaps. Damn, so many things. It's like decentralized Amazon. The thing... I come from the startup world, mainly. And you have to start with a small niche use case and then build out from there. You can't just target everything at once. Amazon started with just books and then moved on to Amazon's in literally everything now, except for self-driving cars. Pretty much. They didn't start with everything. Whereas, like, what is this? Particle's #3 project on GitHub most active. Yeah, I don't view that as a particularly useful metric. For example, Bitcoin doesn't have that many commits because they move slowly and focus on security and have really good code. So if people are just committing willy-nilly, it's not necessarily a good thing. So again, if you have any more questions, please put them right in the chat. Jose, which indicators you recommend learn for a new trader like me? I always say this, which is learn from price action first. So learn to spot basic chart patterns like head and shoulders, triangles, wedges, stuff like that. Candlestick patterns like shooting stars, dojis, dragonflies, hammers. And then you can move on to a lot of other stuff like that. The only indicators that I actually use are the MACD and RSI down here. And I honestly am only beginning to learn to use these correctly. I just traded off price action for the longest time. And recently decided that these were actually useful. Or found that they were useful. I didn't really decide. So yeah, start with price action. My dad, Peter, who's been trading for over 20 years, is a big fan of using Heikin-Ashi candles and the volume profile. So you can see Heikin-Ashi candles kind of just do a better job of telling you what the trend is. And then the volume profile, you can identify areas of support and resistance a little bit easier. So something like, so starting off first with just candlestick patterns, Heikin-Ashi, trend following, and then he has a bunch of moving averages on here as well. So the 800, 250 EMAs. You can also just experiment with simple moving averages, and then maybe move on to something like the volume profile. The thing with trading is that you really have to find a tool that, this is going to sound dumb, but you have to find a method of analysis that speaks to you. A lot of things just aren't going to work for your personality. For example, I have a hard time trend following because I'm a natural contrarian. And I really enjoy picking tops and bottoms, but I really have to stop myself from doing it because naturally picking a top and bottom is very difficult and you get in trouble a lot doing it. So if you're like that, maybe try something like Elliott waves, which I do now. Or if you are good at, if you do like trend following, do something like Peter's system with Heikin-Ashi candles and EMAs. If you want to learn, we have a video series coming out soon, as well as a step-by-step guide to learn trading. And you can also go look up Tone Vays. He has really good stuff. I went to one of his seminars recently. And that goes nicely to the next question. Patreet, who's your favorite crypto personality influencer? Tone Vays. Doesn't speak a lot of bullshit, knows what he's doing. There aren't many other people like him. Let's look up who I'm subscribed to. Doug Polk, I like Doug Polk. Cedric Dahl, like him. Mark DeMestel's good he's very contrarian, I like him a lot. And this guy, Josh Carpe Noctem, he has a lot of good stuff on Ichimoku Cloud, which I'm also recently beginning to learn. Haven Dip. I don't know. Is it? Haven's a long-term hold for me. Ooh. Haven Dip. I think my average fill on this is like 420, so we're down 25% on this. Not horrible. Yeah, I don't have a target for this. I mean, you're looking at it's making new lows on this chart, so I have really no idea where it can go from here. Like I only have 1% of my portfolio in this, so if it goes to 0, it doesn't really matter. But it's only at $6 million, and it can probably make it up into the 100 million. So I might buy more, honestly. Maybe fill it up, maybe buy 50% more. How many hours a week do you research and trade? Too much. I have a day job right now, which I am leaving in 2 weeks. And probably shouldn't say this, but I do spend a little bit of time at work trading. Or not really trade, because I don't really day trade or do any trades during the day, but researching, yeah, like that's pretty much all I do. I go to work, come back, go to jiu-jitsu, eat, and then research. And I wake up at 5 a.m. and research more. So you can pretty much say that I'm completely addicted. And when I leave my day job, that will be everything. That'll literally be what I'm doing all day, every day. Making content for you guys and trading, researching, 100% crypto. Maybe train jiu-jitsu twice a day. That would be pretty cool. And we are at 65 minutes. So I have 25 more minutes if you guys want to ask some more questions. So let's see, what's Bitcoin up to? Oh, it had that quick spike down. Is it still in these triangles? Yeah. I'm expecting a big move soon because of these triangles on the MACD and RSI. Something interesting should happen soon. Personally, I'm betting that it goes down into this range, but I would not be surprised if it filled out up to this red line. Hence why I have tight stop losses. While I'm waiting for more questions, check out Crypto Bridge. It's a new decentralized exchange that I've started to use to accumulate Raven coin. It's actually really cool. It's built on BitShares, but unlike other exchanges built on BitShares, it's completely decentralized. No central point of failure. Like, they don't have anything. It also acts your wallet, and they have something called Bridgecoin, BCO, which I don't own any yet, but I might soon. It's basically a profit sharing coin like Binance, but built straight into the exchange and the exchange itself. So unlike Binance, or Binance could at any point like make Binance coin useless, whereas the Bridge coin is kind of just built into it. So I like that. Profit sharing. And if BCO or Crypto Bridge keeps doing what they're doing, they look to become the biggest decentralized exchange so far. Honestly, they're just doing everything right. Because if you go to something like Ether Delta or IDEX, it's horrible, horrible to use. I mean, the user experience is terrible, especially Ether Delta. Whereas with Crypto Bridge, it just feels like a normal exchange, but it's decentralized, so I like it a lot. Probably gonna pick up a little bit of Bridgecoin soon. Stop loss in Bitcoin at this moment. I'm short right now. Yeah, short Bitcoin. Stop loss above 94.70. So I've been short since this area right here. So I just don't want to take a loss on this. But I do think it'll go down. Can you trade Bitcoin and alts? Yes. Is there some part of the question that I'm missing there? I was considering only trading Bitcoin for a while, just because you have leverage in Bitcoin, right? So you have BitMEX, you just trade the Bitcoin futures. And everyone talks about like getting a 10x on alts, but realistically, you can just use leverage on BitMEX and get those. And get the ridiculous returns too. So, but I won't do that because a lot of people like alts. And I think it's actually pretty fun to look at the different projects. It's just fun to keep my finger on the pulse of the industry. Oh, yeah. Can you trade Bitcoin and alts on Crypto Bridge? You cannot. There's no fiat pairings. That's the only thing. Which is they have. Oh, they don't have. They don't have BitUSD, which I think is a big problem. Let's see here. Exchange. Like if they had BitUSD, it would be great. But I don't know why they don't. It's on their roadmap. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's on their roadmap, but there's a lot of alts. Did you add to your long-term holdings Origin Trail, RLC, or Zcoin? I have not yet added to those. I'm waiting for the dip. The problem with the RLC and Zcoin is that their charts just look horrible. Super messy. So I'm waiting for a little bit more clarity on those before hopping in. And then Origin Trail, just like a Republic Protocol, I'll be adding to once we get this Bitcoin dip. Any other questions, guys? Take a quick look at this. So like basically all of my charts are Elliott wave focused, and then I have one chart which has moving averages, the TD indicator, and Ichimoku cloud. So I just look at this to see if it says anything different than EW. Right now it just doesn't say anything. Other than that, you have a green one, so if it trades above this, then that could get a bull move started above 10K, but the problem is that you have this resistance right here, and since you're in the cloud also provides resistance, so what price would it have to hit to confirm move above 10K? So it's less about price and more about structure. It would have to fill out this and then hold a low above here. So you should always remember that bull runs are defined by higher lows. I mean, yes, they have higher highs, but the higher lows are really what keep it strong. So yeah, sorry, that wasn't really an answer to your question. The first sign will be above, yeah, the most recent high, like 97.50-ish. I'm waiting for this Bitcoin dip to fill my bag with HPB since everyone's talking about TXs per second. Yeah, HPB is pretty cool. The only problem is that they have a major issue with centralization. And kind of a sketchy quote-unquote partnership. Because I know a lot of their people used to work at UnionPay, and it's unclear if their project has something to do with that. So yeah. But high performance blockchain, great name. Just very easy to understand for new people what it does. Oh yeah, you got a lot of 13, 13, 9, 9. So it definitely looks overextended here. Although it is above a lot of resistance on the 12 hour. It's above the cloud. Cloud hasn't turned bullish yet though. Books you recommend for trading? Oh, I just read a great one. This one was recommended by Tonvase as well. It was The Art of Execution. Kind of fluffy, but pretty good read. Art of Execution is good. Trading the Zone is good. Market Wizards, New Market Wizards, Hedge Fund Wizards. Diary of a Stock Operator. Or Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. And then, yeah, TA books are good too. LA Wave Principle. Technical analysis of stock trends. You can find a lot of these online. And if you just study them, eventually you'll be able to do TA. The misconception, though, I would say, is that people think that all you need to be a successful trader is to be good at TA. Whereas trading itself actually doesn't really rely on being good at TA. It's more about emotional control, discipline, risk management. And for that, trading the zone is really good. But yeah, I haven't really read a lot of books on trading. Any other questions? Let's see if someone sent me anything on Twitter. Do you expect Bitcoin to go to 4.8K? No, I don't now. Like I said earlier in the stream, the triangle is looks like the most likely right now. Because we had that 5-wave up move and look to be in a more bullish stance, I would say that things look good. But we still, the bullish case still has to prove itself. When he's indicted, prosecuted, and convicted, he can live rent-free again in a correctional facility. That's funny. This is about Donald Trump. I retweeted something that his son said, which was pretty funny. Overstock isn't planning to use it. Any opinion why Bitcoin spiked 1,000 in an hour? On April 12? April 12? What? Oh, this? Oh, it's a short squeeze. Plain and simple. I was short here. A lot of people were short here. Like, it was a very obvious setup. It was just a triangle or a bull pennant or bear pennant after a large move down, targeting 4K. Like, just happens. That's why you said stop losses. It's a perfect example of that. I only know one person who successfully counter traded or who successfully traded this up move. Everyone else was looking down, which in retrospect should have been a sign to look up. Who was he? Someone who does not wish to be public. Sorry. So I think I'll wrap it up there. If you have any more questions after my outro, I'll just address those questions. Then we'll be good. Thank you guys for watching. It has been a pleasure to be able to bring this information for you. Like I said, I'm completely obsessed with crypto and would be doing this anyway, even if it wasn't helping other people, which I hope it does. You can follow me on Twitter at IamCharlieU. You can follow us on Telegram, t.me/altcoinmentors. And if you want to get our model portfolio with all of the coins that we're looking at, all of the trades that we're making in the crypto market right now, we have recently revamped and updated that. altcoinmentors.com/portfolio to get that right away. And if you want to get our strategy notes, you can get them delivered to your inbox every day, or every Sunday, not every day, every Sunday morning. altcoinmentors.com/strategy. And I'm going to be leaving my job in 2 weeks, and we will be bringing you so much content at that time. I know I've been saying that we're going to get YouTube videos out. I promise that we will once I'm less busy with work, or not busy with work, actually. Can't wait. Let's look at some of these questions. Just thank yous. Thank you, everyone. This was the most engagement that I've seen on this live stream. I remember the first ones where it was just pulling teeth to get questions out of people. Now I just get them. Cool. Yeah. I still have to look into OCN. I will do that. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I didn't switch to webcam. I'm still on the screen. That's okay. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you next week.